in 2003, which is almost ancient now, but 27.67% of all homicides in Oklahoma were intimate partner related. That's Oklahoma. You know, if we are trying to blame it on religion, this is a tough sell, because when you look at the verses of the Quran and the example that we've just told you today about the example of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, you see that Islam absolutely protects women. Absolutely. Yes. And so if people are doing it, it's because of what's inside them, or their own frustration with their own inability to get a job or to provide well enough for their family, or because they were abused by their parents and this is just a cycle of abuse. But, you know, our own Oklahoma non-Muslim statistics are scary enough. There were, you know, domestic violence shelters in Oklahoma long before Muslims got to be numbers enough where we needed our own. And I think that this is just a human condition. Even in Europe, they're saying before there were Muslims in large numbers there, even their numbers are about 1 in 4. This is really worrisome. This is a problem that we all, of all religions and no religions, all humanitarians have got to address that problem. You know, Islam really brought a lot of other protections to women that they didn't have in those days, and as we look at it today, we can really appreciate it. One of the things it did was it removed intoxicants from the lifestyle. When you look, you know, and talking to people here at the shelter here, and
talking to the police.
And talking to the police, you know, families that otherwise get along just fine, when you add alcohol or drugs into that family, the family is so often destroyed or at least compromised due to days lost in work, due to broken relationships. You know, when women are having alcohol, we have the problem of fetal alcohol syndrome. That's for life. That's not something that a child will recover from.
That's right.
You know, so the protections are, of course, for lower crime rates in our neighborhoods. So when Islam continues, even after all these centuries, to promote the absence of intoxicants from our lifestyle, you know, we have a little more comfort that our own children will not be the cause of a drunk driving accident and kill somebody else, God willing. That our own kids won't also die from an alcohol incident or other drug incident. Now, we are in a community that is of many different religions and people who don't practice no matter what. So we also have isolated incidents of our kids getting into some trouble, but it's not, we don't have the large numbers that we see in some of the other religious communities. Islam keeps promoting the idea that women have innate honor and dignity. And one of the men who came to Islam last year said, you know, the way the men talk to the women in this mosque, he said, I never saw people talk like that to women. He said, you should hear how my father and all my uncles talk to their wives. He says, these women are treated like trash. He says, you don't do that here. And I thought, oh, this is Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma.
Right.
You know, we're not overseas.